Everyone, this is Aruna, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, SNS College of Technology. So, in this lecture series, I'm going to discuss about the database management system and their concepts. So, before entering into the DBMS, first we're going to see the what type of a terminology we're going to use it in the database management system. So that only we're going to discuss in this video. In my further video, I'm going to detailedly discuss about the everything, what is the concepts available in the database management system. So in this video, we're going to see about the what do you mean by data, information, what do you mean by database management system, and also we're going to discuss about the database system along with the real world example. So first, before seeing the DBMS, first we're going to see about data. So I think everyone we are knowing about the data because nowadays in our 21st century, everyone we are dealing with the data. So data is nothing but the facts, or we can say it is a raw material that could be recorded in somewhere. That can be called it as a data. So, and also we are storing in certain format. So these data can be able to store either in a traditional way or we can use any multimedia data. So in a traditional, we are having a text and number. In a multimedia, we are having a audio, video, speech, and also whatever we are doing a shorts, everything we can call it as a multimedia data. This both the data, these both the thing can be called it as a data. It is a raw data. And also we're going to record this thing. This data is recorded. We are either we're going to store it in the database or we're going to store it in the file format. So this is a two ways of storing the data. So this can be called it as a data. But nowadays, if you are considering, for example, why we are saying it is a very much important means, in real world, we are taking the example as a Flipkart. Flipkart is producing any goods, or Flipkart is they are having any manufacturing sector? No, he is a intermediate person. He sells the goods only based on the third parties. So all the vendors, everyone is connected with the Flipkart. Through Flipkart, they are selling their goods. So as a user, we are not directly selling getting the product from the Amazon or a Flipkart. They doesn't have any manufacturing unit. They are depend on the third parties. Through third parties only we are receiving amount. So it is a medium platform. This is the best example for the data. Just Flipkart and Amazon and all, they are managing the data. So see through that, while managing the data itself, they are earning a profit of millions and billions of data. For example, if anybody having having a more number of data means he or she can eligible to earn million and billions of a amount for based on that particular data. See through that, all e-commerce website, all shopping site, everything they are doing this type of a job. The next example is Ola and Uber. Take the thing, Ola and Uber, they are also maintaining only the data. They doesn't have any car, they doesn't have anything. They are using their car owners' data. Through that, they are earning the amount. So this is the importance of our data. Just these peoples are only managing the data. They doesn't have any sector unit or any manufacturing unit. So the best example is we can take it as a shopping site. So for example, if you're considering it as a shopping site, so whatever the product you are searching, is it right? For example, if I'm searching, I want the good of, I have to buy a new phone. Is it? I'm going to buy a new phone. So if I search the new phone and the below, they are customized to you because they are learning you. They have suggested the plus these are the product is associated with this particular phone. You can able to buy with this offer. So these and all the thing can be based only on the data. So everyone for the advertisement, everyone they are using this thing. So if you are having a data, you can able to earn million and billions of a data. This is a major importance of the particular data. So this is a concept of data. The next we're going to see about the database. So what do you mean by database? So we see the data. So database means the collection of related data. So we can call it as a collection of related data. For example, consider this thing. This is a age, car, salary, and price. Is that thing any attribute is related to each other? No, it is not related to each other. So this is not a database. Is it clear? So if the database can be called it as a, it must have a related data, and also we can able to represent it in any real world entities. That only we can call it as a database. See here, this example. If I want to collect the student name, age, student information in a college or a university, so it may have a name, register number, department, and age. So this is the each and every attribute, each and every field is related to each other. So that can be called it as a database. And also whatever the data changes, whatever the changes you have to made it in the database, that must be there. You have to made it over here. That must be reflected in the database. So definitely, if I want to change the register number or I have to remove the register number, definitely it must be reflected to the database. So this concept only we can call it as a database. So the next one we're going to see about the information. So in this thing, we're going to see about how the information is different from the data, because information is very much different from the data. So information is nothing but the how we can extract the meaningful information, meaningful data from the meaningful information from the data. We can call it as a information. So best example is a YouTube. Consider if a YouTube can contain these so many related data are there. For example, it will have a DBMS, it will have a big data analytics, it will have a videos related to cyber security or etc. Everything it will be have it in the YouTube. So that can be called it as a data. If I want to search a DBMS video file, so that DBMS video, according to me, DBMS video is the information to me. Remaining everything it is can be called it as a data. And also one more thing I have to add to this thing is information and data can be varied to person. So either that can be the information can be the data for me. Some other person information can be the information to them. So it can be varied, because if I need now I need only the DBMS data, but somebody will they need the data analytics data, somebody they need the security data. For them and all, what is their need, what they want to do, so that can be called it as a information. Remaining thing will everything we will call it as a data. So keep it in your mind. So data and information can be varied to person. So whatever the definition, whatever the terminology I have saved in this video, only based on the database only. Because this may be have a different definition in other field, but whatever that I'm saying over here is only related to the database management system. So the next we're going to see about the database management system. So what do you mean by database management system? Means how we can store the data, how the data can be stored in the database. So for that only we are using the database management system. By using any software tool or by using any other thing, if I want to store the data inside that particular database only, we are going for the DBMS. And also simply I can write, for example, if I have a name and phone number, I'm going to store it over here. I'm going to store the 10 students phone number, name and the phone number. So for example, if I want to store this data, either I can take a paper, I can able to write, or I can take a diary, I can able to write, note I can able to write. Otherwise, I can write it in the board. Is it right? So, or otherwise I can use the computer, I can open the notepad, I can also write the name and phone number. So if I want to store the thousands of data or 10,000 of data, Is it right? 10,000 of data. It is very difficult to write the thing. Is it right? And also while retrieving the data, I have go for any programming language or manually I have to check it out. Is it right? If I example the same thing, I have to store it in my notepad. For example, some person does not need the phone number. They need only the list of student name. So in that, I have to separately write the programming language to retrieve this thing. So a second file is generated. Some person is needed. The name started with the A only. I needed their name and the phone number. So the third file is generated. So many file is generated means if I want to update any data, for example, I'm going to change the name or I am going to change the phone number means in my 10 files, I have to do some modification. This is very difficult in a file system. Is it right? Whatever we are to, for that particular purpose only, we are going for a database management system. So in this case, in this file system, a user directly deals with the database because each and every time they are using any one of the programming language, they are generating the file. Is it clear? By using a DBMS only that linked with the database. So DBMS is nothing but some management system. It is managing some data. So for managing the data, they are going for any query language. Either it can be SQL or not only SQL. That is a NoSQL or a NewSQL. By using a query technology, they're going to manipulate that data in the database management system. Through that, we can able to reduce the inconsistency and redundancy present in my database management system. Because in my file processing, if I want to miss any one file, I forgot to update the thing means it leads to inconsistency. That could be avoided by using a database management system. So this is the reason why we are using a DBMS. So what do you mean by database system means while combining the DB and the database management system only, we can call it as a database system. So this entire thing only we can call it as a database systems. So this is a database DBMS. By using a SQL query only, we are retrieving the data from the database that could be sent to either it can be ERP application or web application or dynamic website or any other software application. This to be deal with the user. So this is the how the database system can be works in the real world entity. And also in this thing, these are the only the basic terminology we are using the thing. But in your structure query language for manipulation language and all, we are having a DDL, DML, etc. command language is available. That and all we can discuss in the upcoming slide. So this is the thing majorly used in the majorly used terminology in the database management system. So in my next lecture video, I'm going to explain about what is the purpose of DBMS and also what is the applications of DBMS and all, and how we can represent the data, what type of a view model we can able to use the thing. We're going to discuss in the next video. Thank you for watching my video.